we're very pleased to have James here, and we're especially pleased because he stepped in at the last minute for a presenter who wasn't able to make it, so he's a real hero tonight. And this is a project that I'm a huge fan of because it's attached to one of the most amazing resources that's an international resource that we're lucky to have locally, which is the Internet Archive. Yeah, and the Internet Archive has endless corners, so if you haven't explored it, there's a corner for you, and it's a corner that you'll dive into and it will take you days to get out of. And the corner that James is going to talk about is the Internet Arcade, which has done the amazing work of emulating over 600 coin-operated video games. And I have a background in preservation, and something people often say is, why is everything not available online? And I think James will get into a little bit of information about why, but the reason is it's really hard. It takes a lot of really thoughtful decision-making at the beginning that's hard to get through. And then it takes a lot of very hard work for every single piece of work that you digitize. So the work James has done is pretty amazing, and we're very excited to have him here to share with you about the Internet Arcade and the Internet Archive.
Thank you very much. So good evening, everybody. My name is James and I'm here to talk to you about software preservation. Let me start with a little bit of background. So I'm a software developer. I work on virtual reality, and in my spare time I volunteer at the Internet Archive, or archive.org. For those who aren't familiar, archive.org is a nonprofit organization founded by this man, Brewster Kahle, in 1996. They're based right here in San Francisco. Their headquarters is in this building, which is an old Christian Scientist church that Brewster bought because it kind of looked like their logo. It's an amazing place. I highly recommend you visit. They have an open house every Friday where they'll show you around, explain what they're up to. And they're amazing people. They're very passionate about what they do. So when they first bought it, the idea was to flatten out the floor and convert it into a library. But as more and more of our information moves online, the idea of what a library looks like these days is a little bit unclear. So this is their take on that. As you can see, they've got a lot of records for data. They converted the church into a data center, which houses their primary operations. They actually had to have a priest come in and deconsecrate all these areas so that they could move their equipment in. Here you see about 9 petabytes of data, and they've got a few of these throughout the building. So what's on these servers? So when they started the archive in '96, they started by creating what they're best known for today, the Wayback Machine. The Wayback Machine is an archive of websites dating back to the early days of the web. They've got over 297 billion of them right now, with more added every day. And you can go to their site and look at anything from what the first version of Google looked like, MSNBC News in 1997, or maybe your first website posted on GeoCities. But after a few years, they started to move beyond just archiving websites. They started scanning books. They got 11 million of them today. Then they started collecting audio and video. So they got over 3 million videos and 3 million audio files. Everything from old educational films, public domain movies, TV shows, news reports, documentaries, live concerts, B-sides, vinyl transfers, much of it contributed by volunteers who donated their time, money, and efforts to preserving it. And recently they started archiving political ads and literature, government data, and even specifically a Trump archive, containing a database of all the things our 45th president has said and done since he started running for office. It's proven to be quite popular. What about software? There's piles of it out there, boxes and boxes of it, stored in people's attics and basements, storage sheds, dusty old memories of a bygone era. It's on floppy disks, cartridges, hard drives, and CDs. Combined output of hundreds of thousands of people working for decades represented the rise and fall of corporate giants and entire industries, the evolution of computing that led our society to where we are today. That's all offline, gathering dust and slowly rotting away. Luckily, it turns out there are a lot of people out there who care about this. They care a lot, and they started projects dedicated to preserving it as faithfully as possible. Projects like MAME, which lets you go back and play games from thousands of old gaming computer systems you may never have used or have even heard before. MAME, or the Multiple Arcade Machine Emulator, started over 20 years ago with the goal of documenting and preserving hardware. Back then, arcades were already starting to die out, and a few that were left, they were getting rid of the old classic games, replacing them with newer games, the ones that made money. So some people were worried this stuff would be lost forever, and they realized that the best way to preserve it would be to take the hardware designs and turn them into software that runs on modern computers. See, an arcade machine is mostly just a pretty wooden box, a collection of buttons and computer chips inside, with a few kilobytes of software that told those chips what to do. Each chip performed a specific function, chips for graphics, sound, processing button input, storing game state, all wired together by hand in a specific combination to bring you Donkey Kong or Pong, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I think this particular one was called Bad Dudes versus Dragon Ninja. At first, it started out with each one being a custom job. Chips made specifically to run Pong or Space Invaders. But over time, companies came up and started producing off-the-shelf parts. Yamaha, Namco, Texas Instruments, and scores of other companies whose names you haven't heard in decades, either because they died out with the arcade industry, or because they became so ubiquitous that no one needs to talk about them anymore. But at the time, they were pushing the limits of what was possible with electronics. And many of the computing systems we use today owe their lineage to these handcrafted systems. Every year, people would flock to trade shows to see the latest innovations from these companies. Polyphonic stereo, background music, color, vector graphics, speech synthesis. It seems a little silly now, but at the time, the idea of coaxing a pile of silicon and wires to do this stuff was amazing. It had never been done before. And people were loving it, but it didn't last. Eventually, the magic faded, people stopped going to arcades. They had more modern gaming systems at home, or they grew up and stopped playing games. And the results for the industry at the time were disastrous. So how do you save something like this? You can put it in museums, and hide it behind plexiglass display cases, behind rope barriers, and let people marvel about what it once was. But it loses so much. These systems weren't made to be admired from a distance. They were made to be touched and played and experienced. As Brewster Kahle is fond of saying, access drives preservation. Don't get me wrong, we love that there are people out there that are preserving pristine versions of the original physical objects in warehouses and museums. That's great. But if nobody has access to them, it's hard for anyone to know why they should care. So the main project is dedicated to taking all this amazing hardware and turning it into software. A piece of code that runs on, a piece of code which emulates a Yamaha YM2612 or a Zilog Z80, or any of the hundreds of other chips that made up these systems. Once you have all the individual pieces, you can start piecing them back together again. Only this time, it all runs virtually in a modern computer. They even expanded out beyond arcade machines and launched a new project called MES, the Multiple Emulator Super System, which handles hundreds of old computers and handheld systems. I think from the original Apple II systems, the Commodore 64, TI-85 calculators, even the Speak and Spell, all handled by one system. Even slot machines and ATMs are emulated. After all, they're just computers too. So now everyone's happy, right? Problem solved? Well, not really. It turns out these emulators are difficult to set up and require knowledge that not everyone has. Familiarity with the original system, with the magic incantations needed to configure it, drivers, IRQ ports, dip switches, a bunch of esoteric stuff that no one needs to think about anymore because software's evolved so far since then. If a reporter is writing a piece on classic gaming, should they have to have a computer science degree to figure out, to try an obscure but historically important game? Or should they have to track down someone who has a physical copy of it and travel there just to see what it was like? One man didn't think so. Enter Jason Scott. Here he is standing in the great room of the Internet Archive. Those are the servers we saw earlier behind him in the background. Jason Scott's worked at the Internet Archive for a few years now. His official title is Free Range Archivist. His job is to collect and digitize data, and he's got tons of it. Magazines, books, training pamphlets, technical manuals, Kmart tapes, BBS archives. Anything that was once interesting to anyone is still interesting to him. And if you send it to him, he'll digitize it or make sure it gets in the right hands. So he was supposed to be here giving this talk instead of me, but he had a heart attack while he was traveling in Australia. Don't worry, he's doing okay. He's under strict doctor's orders to relax and not leave the country, so I'm filling in for him. So get well, Jason. We need you more than ever. Anyway, back in 2013, Jason Scott was approached his boss, Brewster, with the idea of archiving computer software. How could this be done? The internet has solved the problem of distributing images, audio, and video. We no longer marvel at the idea of clicking a link and viewing a YouTube video, receiving 4K streaming content with HD audio, just a normal everyday thing now. But 10 years ago, that was considered groundbreaking technological achievement. And same for music. We take for granted that we have instant access to huge databases of music anywhere in the world. But software is still stuck in the Stone Age. What would be necessary to make it easy, but just as easy to distribute software that way? Click link, receive software. Well, turns out some very smart people have been working hard on this problem as well. So there's a project out there called Emularity, started by Alon Zakai, an employee at Mozilla. And the goal of this project is to be able to compile programs written in C++ and other languages to an environment that runs in the web browser. So suddenly apps, which previously could only be run as a native executable, can now be run in Chrome, Firefox, Internet Explorer, Safari, just about any other web browser on just about any platform. And since main was written in C++, Jason Scott had the idea to smash these two projects together. And he and several volunteers came up with what was called the JavaScript mess, or JS mess. So it took us about 8 months to get the first prototype working. Most people thought we were insane. They thought Jason Scott had finally cracked. There's no way this would work. He was asking too much of browsers. JavaScript was exactly the wrong language for so many reasons. But yet it did work. Slowly at first, the first system was emulated with the ColecoVision. It ran at 14% of the original speed. But once we proved it was possible, people took interest. Maybe we were actually onto something here. So more and more people got involved. People in the main project started incorporating our patches and took them even further. And scripted made bug fixes and used our examples to, as test cases, which pushed their systems beyond what they were originally made for. And this was all happening simultaneously with a huge round of improvements to web browsers, JavaScript engines, and computing devices. So now we can run thousands of systems at full speed, all just a click away, just like watching a YouTube video. You can follow a link, play Prince of Persia, Oregon Trail, E.T. for Atari, or hundreds of arcade games like Sega Outrun, Defender, Joust, Paperboy, and many more. Suddenly emulation was available to everyone, and millions of people flocked to archive.org to see them, either to relive some aspect of their childhood or to experience something they missed out on. The press was interested as well. We saw a whole round of news reports and articles that popped up talking about both the archive's new collection and about the games contained within. There were gems in here that outside of the arcade enthusiast community, not many people knew about, and they were discovering them and their stories for the first time. Games like this one. Oh, that's Donkey Kong, you say. And there's Mario. Nope. It's a game called Crazy Kong, or Monkey Donkey. There were a few other names that were sold. It's not a bootleg copy of Donkey Kong. It's a side effect of a licensing deal Nintendo did in the 80s when they were desperate. They were about to go under. So they licensed out this, this game to another company who produced it and retained the rights to it. And that puts it in the unique position of being one of the few early Nintendo games that isn't protected by an army of highly paid IP lawyers. So we can have Crazy Kong in our archives. People can experience what is essentially the game that kicked off the entire Mario franchise. You will notice a distinct lack of certain games from our collection. When we launched, we have over 1,400 working arcade games in the collection. Some of you probably have been wondering how the archive gets away with having this up at all, with copyright being as it is today. That's a whole different talk. I'll let Jason Scott handle that one. But the answer is that archive.org has a form where content owners can contact them if they see their content that isn't authorized to be there, and we'll remove it immediately. That's where we're respectful of the copyright ownership laws. So as a result, unfortunately, as a result, our collection has dwindled to about 600 games. Still a lot of history, but we wish we could do more. We wish more people agreed that the historical aspects of these games and the impact they've had on society was something we could celebrate and share with the younger generation, rather than locked away in the vault of hazy memories. And that brings us to the crux of this talk. Why is it important that we save these games? Or these old computing platforms, which either languish in obscurity, examples of failed technology paths like the NTEX Adventure Vision, system with only 4 games ever made for it. Or games like Oregon Trail, which were part of the learning curriculum for many of us growing up, were the highlight of our school week. Whether it's early games made by youngsters who ended up becoming industry leaders today, like John Carmack or Tim Sweeney, or bright burning stars that exploded dramatically with the ripple effects across major industries like Atari and Sega. These are stories which span decades and touch every aspect of our lives. Our childhoods, our economy, our employment, the entertainment industry. They're the story of how we got to now, the battles we fought, that were fought to bring us all the amazing technology we have today. Communities have formed around gaming, leading to meaningful relationships which last entire lives. People have gotten married in games, gone to funerals in games, celebrated important events with friends around the world. Sometimes these relationships outlast the games themselves and the companies that made them. I think we have some important questions we need to ask ourselves as a society about copyright. I mean, at what point does IP enforcement start to conflict with your right to remember and re-experience things from your past? Is nostalgia covered by fair use? How can we ensure that we aren't losing important parts of our history by letting it all just get sent to the dump? Sometimes literally. If you're not familiar with the story of the ET Atari game, I'd highly recommend watching the documentary Atari Game Over. Very interesting stuff. So what's next? Well, we didn't stop with arcade games. We've gone on to add a whole bunch of new systems. We added DOS box to run thousands of old MS-DOS programs, games, apps, shareware, and demos. Oregon Trail is one of the most popular. We've even got a working copy of Windows 3.11 with networking that you can use to browse the internet as it was in the 90s. That's Netscape 1 right there. One of the first internet browsers eventually grew up to be Mozilla Firefox. So you can use it, and it works just like the real thing. It even crashes the same way as the real thing. We've added Amiga demo packs. If you're not familiar with the demo scene, that's another whole series of talks, but think of these as computer-generated music videos written at parties under a certain set of restrictions. So basically trying to squeeze as much performance as you can out of these old systems, and artists and programmers compete to show off their skills. We've added a console living room where you can play thousands of old consoles and handheld video games. And we've been collecting scanned copies of computer gaming magazines. These are fascinating, especially interesting to any indie game developers out there. There's a lot of techniques in there that are covered that it's hard to find these days. Basically, anything related to computing and video games, we would love to have it. Got a box of floppies or CD-ROMs taking up space in your garage or an attic, a box of old design documents for a company you used to work for 20 years ago. Don't just throw it away, give it to us. Anyone can upload content to archive.org. If you have physical objects, please do contact us. You never know what's going to be interesting to future historians. Even the most boring items, when viewed through the lens of time, have interest to explain how we lived, what we cared about, and what we did for fun. Let's celebrate that history and share it with everyone. So, thank you so much for your time. I hope I've managed to convince you that video games are an important part of our history and worthy of being saved. If anyone's got any questions, I think we've got a little bit of time.